games make $1 billion, and many games don't make any money. And that is the problem. It should be more, there should be many more games that are popular. So how can we overcome that? More people have to try harder to make better games. I don't know. I'm not making games anymore, so I don't really watch the market anymore. The last time I made a game was 1984, so it's been a long time. And yeah, the exciting part about games today is you have much better graphics, much better sound, much more memory. Black Onyx 64K, okay? Role-playing game 64K, including graphics, including monsters, including 3D, including story, everything. So, you know, I think you guys are so lucky to have so much memory and so much power in the new machines.
Obviamente menciona que bueno, mucho antes, sobre todo, obviamente debemos estar agradecidos por el poder que tenemos ahora en la comunidad de hoy día, pero claro, con respecto a tu pregunta, mencionaba que ahora el marketing de los juegos siempre es los mismos juegos que están siempre en la palestra y no hay espacio para otros juegos en desarrollo, y al final la solución a eso es, aunque sea irónico, hacer mejores juegos.
Hello.
Hi.
So, there are studies on a more efficient brain activity during the game. For example, it is believed that gambling can interrupt flashbacks experienced in post-traumatic stress disorder. What do you think that Tetris is capable of helping people beyond just entertainment?
Yeah, so I'm working on a device now, a handheld device. I think if a person plays Tetris for 5 minutes each day, then we can get a record of brain activity over time. So we can know if the person's mental ability is going down or going up. So I think this is a very good thing for stroke victims. If you have a stroke or Alzheimer's or some kind of, you know, we can see, the doctor can know right away, ooh, something is changing. This device will not just play Tetris, but also your fingers on the back will record your body function. So it'll be able to tell your heart rate and your, stress level.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't talk so much.
Bueno, vos están desarrollando un dispositivo que se puede usar con las manos y, claro, como mencionabas tú, jugando desde 5 minutos puede medir tus niveles de estrés o incluso monitorear cómo está funcionando tu cuerpo. Si es que también se puede usar un médico respecto de tus niveles de estrés o si es que alguna parte de tu cuerpo está funcionando más o menos mal, ¿cierto? Así que se refiere a eso. Ahí sí se está tomando en cuenta ese aspecto al desarrollar este dispositivo para poder ver cómo está el usuario.
So also, they did a study at Oxford about PTSD. I actually went to Oxford and we helped them make a new version of Tetris to help them with their test. And the test was, if you have a trauma, if you play Tetris after the trauma, will it help with PTSD? And so they had 50, I guess, students watch a trauma video, people dying, and destruction, and so on. Half the people got to play Tetris and half did not. So the players, the people who played Tetris, they had half the flashbacks and half the intensity of flashbacks. So this is a huge thing for PTSD.
Un estudio de Oxford donde están hablando justamente del estrés postraumático y cómo influencia táctica al respecto. Y menciona que después de ver clips de destrucción o de violencia, la mitad de las personas fueron puestas por Tetris y las otras no. Y que al final sí se pueden ver resultados con respecto a las personas que jugaron Tetris.
In Canada even, they are making a study of kids with lazy eyes. So Tetris is helping with the eyes, with the problem they have.
Yeah, I think Tetris will help with many kinds of things because it's a basic game. It's not a character game and it's not a shooting game. It's just a geometry game. So it works with everybody the same.
Hacer un juego tan básico y un juego que para todos es igual puede ayudar mucho muchos aspectos de la vida.
Yo tengo una pregunta, un poco más simple. Sabemos que a veces el cine no suele representar muy bien la autobiografía de algún personaje, y me gustaría saber qué también fue representado, qué también siente que se fue representado su personaje junto con el creador de Tetris.
So we knew that cinema doesn't do autobiographies very well, right? So what do you think about the showing of your person and also the creator of Tetris? What do you think how cinema depicted?
Yeah, so it's not an autobiography. An autobiography is me telling the story about myself. This is a story, somebody else, a writer, telling a story about me. So I would say some parts are me, like when the words that I say in the movie, I actually worked on the script and I wrote those words. And sometimes the actions are strange. It doesn't seem like I would never do that.
Okay.
You know, I would never sneak into Nintendo. I would never sneak into that. I just go through the front door and make an appointment, you know.
Yeah.
So
Like a normal person.
well, it's still not normal because normal person doesn't get to meet Mr. Yamauchi so easily. In my history, I got to meet Yamauchi in 2 days. So on Tuesday, maybe you explained so far. Or it's a lot.
No, it's okay. Bueno, claro, al final no es una autobiografía como tal, sino que es parte de lo que él escribió cuando estaba trabajando el guión, más los escritores. Y claro, hay algunas partes que son realistas o que cuentan la historia tal como fue, pero hay otras que por el bien de la trama, ¿cierto? O para darle un poco de acción, como por ejemplo colarse en Nintendo, eso no tiene sentido.
Yeah, so my wife read an article in a magazine that says Mr. Yamauchi plays Go, the Japanese board game. And so I sent him a fax. Mr. Yamauchi, I can make a Go game for your Nintendo family computer. My name is Henk Roger. I'm leaving for the US on Saturday. I would like to see you before I leave.
Habló con Mr. Yamauchi sobre un juego llamado Go, que es un juego de mesa japonés, y le escribió a él diciendo: yo puedo hacer un juego para la NES sobre Go, y en poco tiempo yo puedo contarme con usted antes de irme, así que dígame qué usted opina.
I didn't tell him that I lived in Japan.
No le dije que vivía en Japón.
And I was coming right back. So on Wednesday, his assistant sent me a fax. Mr. Yamauchi will meet you tomorrow.
El día miércoles le llegó un fax diciendo: el señor Yamauchi lo verá usted mañana.
So that never happened to anybody in the computer game business. It takes them years to get to meet Mr. Yamauchi for the first time.
Es algo único porque nadie conoce a Mr. Yamauchi de forma tan directa.
So I think that the true story is more interesting than the movie.
Así que muchas veces, como en este caso, la historia real es mucho más interesante que la película.
But it's not as fun as the movie. It's not as exciting, you know.
No es tan divertida, tan emocionante. Henk.
Ya llevas un día acá dentro del festigame, ya más de un día dentro de lo que vendría siendo el país. ¿Qué es lo que más te ha llamado la atención de todas las personas que has logrado ver dentro de todos los ñoños, los geeks, los seguidores, los gamers que tenemos dentro de lo que vendría siendo este evento?
So you've been in Festigame for a day and you've been in Chile for many days. So what do you think about the people that you've seen, about the geeks and the nerds and the gamers? What do you think about them?
Well, okay, first of all, gamers are gamers everywhere in the world.
Okay.
So I've been in Tokyo, I've been in California, I've been in lots of places. And it's just like this. I have to say that I find the people of Chile very welcoming, and they've been so nice to me. All of you have been so nice to me. You know, that it makes me want to come back. So yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I've been here only 2 days.
Okay.
So I basically arrived, and then the same day I came to Festigame yesterday. So I'll be here for a couple of more days to enjoy Chile, to help Chile fight climate change.
That's very good. Bueno, menciona que ha estado acá por 2 días solamente. Primero llegó, luego está en Festigame. Pero claro, menciona que los gamers son gamers de todas partes y que la gente chilena ha sido muy recibida con él, ha sido muy amable. Le encantaría volver en algún momento. Y eso, tendrá unos días para visitar Chile después de esto y obviamente solucionar o ver cómo Chile puede combatir el cambio climático.
Siguiente pregunta.
Yo tengo una pregunta más.
La ronda básica. Ya.
No, un segundo para...
Ya intercalamos. Ya, dale.
Ya lo conocemos, sabemos de la historia, pero me gustaría saber cómo recuerda de forma muy breve su viaje al Unión Soviética.
We know who you are, we know your story, but we want to know how do you recall your journey to the USSR?
Oh, and to me,
Cue the helicopter.
yeah, that's what it felt like. They were watching us.
Bad timing.
You had a good time.
Good time, man.
So, going to the Soviet Union was just like an adventure game. I had no idea who to meet, where to go, what to do. I just went.
La Unión Soviética fue como un juego de aventura donde no sabía con qué tenía que hablar, a dónde ir, no saber nada, absolutamente nada.
I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any friends. I had an address,
No tenía amigos, no tenía conocidos, solo tenía una dirección.
but the address turned out there was nobody there. It was an empty office.
En la dirección resulta que no había nadie, una oficina vacía.
So, but in the movie, you see, I hired an interpreter,
En la película se menciona que él contrató a un
and
intérprete
then things became easier.
y se volvieron las cosas más fáciles.
And then I met Alexei,
Yo conocí a Alexi
and he became my friend right away.
y se volvió
Because
su amigo de inmediato.
I was the first game designer he ever met.
Fue el primer diseñador de juegos que él conoció.
And so we could talk about game design.
Podemos hablar de juegos, diseño de
He
juegos.
never had this opportunity before.
Nunca había
So,
tenido esta oportunidad antes.
yeah, we became friends pretty much immediately.
Nos volvimos amigos de inmediato.
Another question. Apple TV was recently received over the famous Tetris movie, claiming it's a copy of another work. What is your opinion about this?
About what? Sorry?
Has been sued.
Lawsuits.
Huh?
Suits.
Sued.
About what?
Claiming it's a copy from another work.
Okay, this is so ridiculous because the guy who wrote the book interviewed me, the guy who made the movie interviewed me, and I use the same words because there's my same words. I didn't come all this way to stand in front of a door and not go inside, and, so this is my words. So I don't think they copied each other. Those are words that I said and I told them. So for one to say those are my, no, they're not. They're my words. They're not his words.
La persona que escribió el libro, obviamente, y la persona que hizo la película son las mismas palabras que él mismo dijo. Entonces no hay razón para decir que alguien está copiando a otra persona porque al final son sus palabras, nadie está copiando a nadie.
But America is just full of this. So basically the rule is if you have a good movie, you will have a lawsuit.
Estados Unidos es así, si tienes una buena película, te van a demandar.
That's a way for you to know that it's a good movie.
Es la manera de saber que es una buena película.
A mí se me ocurrió una...
Okay, it's really short. I'm from 2005, so I'm really young. And when Tetris was released, I was even there. So do you think that the game have an impact like it was in the time? From like 2000 kids like me, like we can have the same impact like the same feelings as the...
So when you think about it, so Tetris was the first game, the first really popular mobile game. And now there are so many mobile games, everybody has a phone. But back then nobody had a phone, nobody had anything. So when Game Boy came out, it was a revolution. And the other revolution that happened with Tetris is that girls and women start to play games. Because all the other games were made for boys, for men. And so after that, there was a huge new influx of players female players, and that's a great thing.
Entonces comenzó siendo un juego básico, como conocido, que es un juego a la que todas personas pueden jugar, ya sean hombres o mujeres. Durante este tiempo que salió Tetris, justamente se vio un aumento en las personas que juegan, incluso sobre todo las mujeres. Y eso ha sido, ese es el impacto que ha tenido la tarde.
Última pregunta.
Durante toda esta época de los videojuegos, mi pregunta es como si él tiene algún especial cariño por alguna época o alguna consola quizá en la historia de los videojuegos, de algo que le traiga más nostalgia, o si que a él le guste más.
Regarding the video games era in general, do you feel like affection or nostalgia about a specific era of video games?
Yeah, of course. It's when you're young and you're playing all these games, it's exciting. I feel that there was more innovation early on because there were no rules, and now there are basically many games copying many games. Like Candy Crush is a copy of Bejeweled, which is a copy of, and it's copy. So I'm missing the originality. I'm sure it exists with indie games, but the popular games tend to be just like movies. It's like, oh no, not another Marvel movie,
Extraño mucho la originalidad de esos años, el momento en que él empezó a desarrollar muchos juegos de ahora, por ejemplo, el juego de celular como Candy Crush es la copia de la copia de la copia. Lo que más extraña es las ideas originales y la innovación que se tenía en ese tiempo, ya que no había reglas al respecto.
Por honor,
yo no tengo una pregunta, yo tengo un regalo.
It's a gift.
Si no me matan mis jefes, me lo hago.
Or else my boss will
Pero esto de Mr. Noodle para usted. Sopa instantánea. Soy un sin calorías en sellos.
ahora vamos a dar
Okay, so I have a question.
Tengo una pregunta.
How many minutes does it take to make this?
2 to 5 minutes.
5 minutes. So in the original in Japan, there's cup noodle, and cup noodle is 3 minutes. And there's a Japanese character called Ultraman. And Ultraman can only come down to Earth for 3 minutes. So there was a cup noodle commercial. Ultraman comes down, he makes cup noodle, but he has to go back. So he can never eat the cup noodle. So I made a version of Tetris called Ultra Tetris. So it takes 3 minutes. So Ultraman can play before he goes back. Oh, wait, you're not going to translate that?
Oh, well, of course, cup noodles in Japan only take 3 minutes. Me bugué. En Japón, obviamente, los videos solamente tienen 3 minutos. Y hay un comercial donde Ultraman, como puede bajar a la tierra solo por 3 minutos, hacía los videos y luego subía porque no podía comer los videos, ¿cierto? Entonces hizo una versión de Tetris que dura solo 3 minutos llamada Tetris, Ultra Tetris.
Ultra Tetris.
Donde Ultraman puede jugar Tetris, casi habla en inglés de nuevo.
We made it for Color Game Boy.
Para Game Boy Color. Me voy a
Esas son las preguntas. Ahora vamos a dar un espacio para las fotos. Así que espero y necesito que se ordene.
¿Ya?
Hay espacio para todos.
Mantengamos el mismo orden.